All right, over the past couple of months, I've done a couple of episodes specifically around multilingual content strategy. And if you've listened to those episodes, I'll link to both of those in the show notes in case you missed them. One of the things that I really wanted to drive home was this whole notion that creating a multilingual content strategy and reaching people who speak other languages who have the problem that your brand solves is about so much more than simply translating your content. But today's episode, I want to switch things up a little bit because there is one particular strategy that I do want to cover today where it is actually effective for you to take the approach of translating your content or making your content available in other languages to reach a broader diversity of people. And I think that it's important to highlight that with inclusive marketing, yeah, there are rules, but there's always going to be some type of an exception to a rule where there are principles that work, but there are other instances where you can deviate a little bit from that principle because it can be effective. So I want to make sure that we're providing a very good view of a different range of ways in which you can be effective in reaching more of the people that you serve and making more of them feel like they belong with you. So after this short break, we're going to walk through a very cool strategy that quite a few brands are using as a way to reach more of the people who have the problem that their brand solves. Did you know that most businesses only use 20% of their data? That's like reading a book with most of the pages torn out or paying for a coffee that's just 1/5 full. Point is, you miss a lot unless you use HubSpot. Their customer platform gives you access to the data you need to grow your business. The insights trapped in emails, call logs, and transcripts, all that unstructured data that makes all the difference. Because when you know more, you grow more. And when you get a full cup of coffee, you can do more too. But I digress. Visit HubSpot.com today. All right, YouTube. YouTube growth strategies continue to be a hot topic among marketers. And in fact, most marketers plan to increase their YouTube budgets in the coming year and say that the platform has their highest growth potential in 2024 and beyond. I actually am planning on increasing my own YouTube budget in 2025. So this checks. Anytime you're talking about YouTube growth, one of the people or the channels that is referenced quite a bit is Jimmy Donaldson's Mr. Beast channel. Now, it's easy to understand why. Today, the Mr. Beast YouTube channel has 240 million subscribers, the second most of any channel on the platform. And there are many reasons why this channel is so popular, but the strategy I recommend most to clients centers on expanding their view of who their ideal customer is. Mr. Beast employs inclusive marketing by offering his content in multiple languages. Now, Reed Dusher, his talent manager, explains that this is one of the primary forces that has driven rapid growth for Mr. Beast channels. In a LinkedIn post, he wrote, "Jimmy just hit 200 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. It's crazy to think that his first 100 million took nearly a decade, and his 200 million milestone came only a year and a half later. Here are some of the big reasons Jimmy hit 200 million so quickly." In this post, he listed out 5 reasons. But the first reason, the one that was most important, was that he said Jimmy fully dubbed his content in more than 15 languages for international viewers. So the strategy here is simple. Get your content and products in front of more people who have the problem your brand solves. More qualified eyeballs mean more people consuming your content and buying your products. Globalization as a growth lever is nothing new. That's why you'll see McDonald's, Netflix, and Nike developing localized content around the globe. Remember, a different language doesn't mean that we don't have the same problem or can't benefit from the same solution. Now, it's not just Mr. Beast who's embracing this strategy. There are other channels like Cocomelon, Kids Diana Show, and Like Nastia have all snagged coveted spots in the top 10 most subscribed YouTube channels. How? Each of them makes their content available in multiple languages and has earned millions of fans as a result. Now, this isn't just for kid cartoons and hype engines. Even business-focused brands such as Gary Vee, vidIQ, and IKEA are embracing inclusive marketing and making their content available in other channels on YouTube specifically. Now, these brands and these creators aren't creating dozens of assets at a time. They're creating one video and localizing it into other languages using dubbing and voiceover. Now, once the dubbed content is made, there are two approaches creators use to get localized content to their audiences. The first one is language-specific channels. Cocomelon, Kids Diana Show, and Like Nastia all have multiple YouTube channels, each dedicated to specific languages. Kids Diana Show has 119 million subscribers on the English language version of the channel. She's added more than 72 million additional subscribers with different language channels hosting the same but localized content. Like Nastia has 113 million subscribers on her English language channel. Her brand has more than 82 million additional subscribers on other language channels. Business channels have seen success here as well. vidIQ has 1.78 million subscribers on their English language channel, and they've added an additional 351,000 subscribers on the Spanish language channel alone. Now, a second option that you can take if you're dubbing your content on YouTube is one channel, multiple languages. The outlier here is Mr. Beast, who previously hosted several different channels dedicated to various languages. In 2022, that changed. Around this time, YouTube began working with top creators like Mr. Beast to test out multi-language audio. This new feature allows creators to manage one channel by uploading different audio, thumbnails, and descriptions to their accounts. When a user comes across the video, it's automatically shown to them in their local language. This allows creators to deliver a seamless customer experience for their audience while also being more efficient content managers. YouTube noted that creators who tested this multi-language audio feature saw 15% of their watch time come from views in the video's non-primary language. While this feature isn't yet available to all accounts, YouTube plans a phased rollout of the functionality to more creators. All right, so after this short break, we're going to walk through how you can use localization in your brand, specifically as it relates to YouTube. Okay, I've got another podcast recommendation for you. It's Augmenters, hosted by Julie Meyer and Jimmy Edgerton, and it's brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. So on this show, Julie and Jimmy dive into mentoring and explore ways to augment and refresh the mentoring environment. They're using 8 core principles that weave relevant spirit guides and diverse guests, and Julie and Jimmy use a lot of humor and practical tips to help mentors and mentees get further, faster together. There's so many great episodes to tune into for this show, but one that you might find especially interesting is their latest episode, number 120, Mentoring Across Gender, Men as Allies and Mentors. Listen to Augmenters wherever you get your podcasts. All right, so how can you apply localization in your brand? Of course, it's important to consider the customer experience you're delivering to your audience. Over the years, I've interviewed dozens of consumers with identities from underrepresented and underserved communities. And a common frustration they share is feeling like brands fall short by delivering substandard experiences to them. One Spanish-speaking consumer told me that when brands don't make their content available in Spanish, he feels like they send the message that people who speak Spanish aren't important. When it comes to engaging new consumer groups, I always coach my clients to be intentional about delivering experiences that make consumers feel seen, cared for, and like they are important rather than like an afterthought. As a result of taking this approach, more of the people you want to serve will feel like they belong with you. The end goal of this strategy is to create video content that's accessible to people who speak other languages. But there are lots of ways to get there. I'm going to drop a link to a quick video that I created where I walk through a few of those options to provide examples and considerations for each one. Okay, so the first option is using human dubbed content. Many of today's YouTube channels, including Mr. Beast, use a company called Unilingo to dub videos using professional translators and voiceover talent. Now, if you've ever watched a movie with audio in another language, you'll notice that great care is taken to ensure the voiceover looks and sounds like the original. When the tone matches and there's synchronicity, it delivers a better experience to the end user. Think of this as a moment to delight your audience by working with a human voiceover artist skilled in matching the original speaker's energy, emotion, and intonation. A second approach is using AI dubbed content. Okay, I know I just told you to use human dubbed content, but I realize that sometimes it's just not possible. You just really may not have the budget for that. If you haven't noticed, the market is flooded with AI tools right now. That means you've got options for dubbing using artificial intelligence. Simply upload your video, select a voiceover you like, and in just a few minutes, you have a dubbed video. Now, if you use this option, that means you've got options for dubbing using artificial intelligence. Simply upload your video, select a voiceover you like, and in just a few minutes, you have a dubbed video. If you use this option, it's important to have the translated version verified by certified translators before publishing. Although AI-powered translations are often good, there are nuances associated with localizing content. You'll also want to maintain your brand voice and tone, something that can be difficult to capture with a language learning model. The AI will translate your content verbatim when what you're really after is transcreation. In a transcreation, you choose the words and phrases that capture the full intention and essence of what you're saying. I'm going to drop a link to a podcast episode that I recorded a while back, episode number 70, Grow Through Spanish Translation, where I do a deep dive into translation, transcreation, and the proactive choices you must make when localizing your content. For instance, should your brand be using gender-neutral language? Gendered language is very common in languages like Spanish and French. And if so, how should you approach nuances here? These decisions will have a big impact on how people perceive your brand. All right, the third way is to add multi-language subtitles to your video. Subtitles are another way to make your YouTube videos more accessible. You can upload multiple subtitle files in other languages directly in your YouTube content studio. YouTube also gives you the option to upload localized thumbnails, titles, and video descriptions to deliver a consistent experience in the end user's local language. When a user arrives on your video, they'll hear your original audio while reading the subtitles in their preferred language. The same rules apply when ensuring you have a high-quality subtitle translation that human translators either transcreated or verified. All right, it's in time for you to break through the noise with inclusive video content. Think beyond your existing audience to grow your YouTube channel and your business. Start where you can and make improvements over time as you learn more about what your new global audience needs most from you. Once you get into the groove of expanding your content reach, you'll develop new relationships with new audiences that will allow them and your business to reach new levels of success. All right. If you like this episode, I would so appreciate it if you would share it with a friend, colleague, and your network. It really does go a long way towards helping more people discover the show, which I like to think helps more people practice inclusive marketing. Also, if you're feeling generous, leave a rating and review in your podcast player of choice. That also goes a long way towards helping more people discover the show. Quick question for you. Are you getting the Inclusion in Marketing newsletter? If not, really, what are you even doing? I'll drop a link for it in the show notes for you. Each week, I send news, tips, resources, insights, stories, and other cool tidbits to help you attract and retain a bigger, more diverse, and fiercely loyal customer base and develop an inclusive mindset in the process. Go to inclusionandmarketing.com/newsletter to get signed up. Until next time, remember, everyone deserves to have a place where they belong. Let's use our individual and collective power to ensure more people feel like they do. Thanks so much for listening. Talk to you soon.